Hey, what is up guys, Tava here, and today I'm going to be compiling the perfect low-budget filmmaker setup for 2019 that is under $1,000 and has everything you'll need to make great films. Here it is. Okay, so I had to switch to the GoPro so I could show you the camera I use, which is the Lumix G7. Now some people say that this camera is a bit outdated, but I have to say that this is the best low-budget filmmaker camera that you can possibly have. Right now this camera comes in at $498, which is just a steal, and it comes with a 14 to 42 millimeter kit lens. Currently I do have this camera in a metal rig, which wouldn't come with it, but it's just nice to kind of hold the camera, but I won't include that in the price. So there's a few reasons why I love this camera so much. But I'd say the main three reasons are resolution, size, and Cine-like D. So for the first one, resolution, it shoots 4K at 30 frames per second and 24, as well as 1080p at 60 frames per second. So it's not exactly the highest resolution that you can have on cameras or the highest frame rates, but it is a good variety, especially for the price. The second reason is size. If you want to do anything travel related or just anything filmmaking related, it's a very small camera. It's micro four thirds sensor, mirrorless, so it's very portable, very small, easy to transport, easy to take places. The lenses, as you can see, are all very small, so it's very portable and a very easy camera to get around. And then like I said, the third reason why I like this camera so much is Cine-like D. And that might not make sense to some people, but Cine-like D is actually a picture profile inside the camera that shoots really flat, so you're able to not have high contrast, you're able to have low saturation, and this makes it really easy to color grade in post, which makes your footage look a lot more cinematic. So yeah, this camera is just really versatile in pretty much any situation you can get it. I'm just going to list some other things that I do like about this camera as well. Flip out screen, mirrorless, easy to use menu system, clicky buttons, microphone input, HDMI output, easy to hold, feels solid, pretty much all those basic things. Okay, so the next thing you need for your camera are lenses. And like I said, the first lens I would recommend is the one that actually comes with the Lumix G7, which is the 14 to 42 millimeter lens. Now keep in mind that on the Lumix G7, the mount size for the lenses is micro four thirds, which actually has a 2x crop ratio. So for any millimeter, you have to multiply it by 2 to get the actual millimeter. So for 14, that would actually be 28. That's just something you need to keep in mind. So this lens is a 14 to 42, which is actually a 28 to 84. And it's just a great, really versatile lens. It has good autofocus, it's small, and I'm actually filming on it right now. As you can see, this is at 14 millimeters. It's the widest, gets a nice range of view here. Really versatile, works well, gets a good view, and it comes with the camera if you buy the Lumix G7, which is just awesome. And so for this basic filmmaking kit, the second lens that I think you really need is the Lumix 25 millimeter lens, which comes in at about $250. Now this lens is 25 millimeter, but like I just said, you multiply it by 2, so this is actually a 50 millimeter, which 50 millimeter is pretty much the standard for cinema and shooting a lot of different films on. So that's just a good lens length to get a lot of different versatile shots. So here are some reasons why I like it. Again, because it is a micro four thirds lens, it is very small. This is very small, very portable, easy to get around. Second reason, it has really good bokeh because it has a low f-stop of 1.7. So basically you can open up the aperture really big and get some good out of focus backgrounds. The next reason is that the focus pull is really smooth. You have a big focus ring and you can get some pretty smooth moving shots between subjects. The autofocus is pretty good on this lens and it just gets really nice crispy shots that are perfect for adding that cinematic look. And next, although this will go over $1,000 if you're adding this all up, this lens here, which is actually a telephoto zoom, and it is the Lumix 45 to 150 millimeter. This lens is just nice to get some zoomed in shots if you need it, and I actually got this on a really good deal. I think right now it's $250, but I got this lens for about $150, which is a steal. So if you find it for that price, it's just nice to have in your kit to get some more versatile shots. Now the next part of the kit is the microphone, which many filmmakers argue is the most important part of any film, sound. So good microphones are usually pretty pricey, and because this kit is under $1,000, I had to go with a cheaper option, but it's still pretty good. And so for this kit, I'm gonna be using the Takstar SGC 598, which is a microphone that costs only $30, which is just insane. Now I've actually been using this microphone for about 4 years and it still holds up great, which is just awesome. On the side you can see it's powered by one AA battery. I think I've literally only changed the battery like once in 4 years. The front of the mic comes with a wind cover, so you can just cover up the mic to reduce wind noise. It kind of comes in a shock mount and it's meant to be mounted on top of the camera so you can get some good audio from above the camera. On the side it has a few options for low pass filter, gain at 0 or plus 10 dB, and then on and off switch. Honestly, for $30, the audio is not that bad. It sounds pretty good and the noise isn't actually that high, which is amazing. So if you're just starting out, this microphone works pretty well, but in the future I definitely recommend upgrading to some higher quality equipment. And next is what you need to hold this all together. And so for me, that's this tripod right here. So this tripod right here is the Magnus VT300. And the most asked question on my YouTube channel is, what tripod do you use? So this is the answer, finally. This is the Magnus VT300, and I use it all the time. It's a great tripod. Comes in at around $80, and you just get some really nice fluid motion with this tripod. It has a fluid head, really smooth, made out of good material, holds a lot of weight, gets the job done. It's just what you need, pretty low price, and that's what I use for my tripod. And last but not least, you need something to carry all your gear around in, which is why I use this camera backpack, which is the Lowepro Fastpack 250. Now this backpack is a great travel backpack because it holds pretty much everything I need in one location, keeps it super compact, super protected, which is just awesome. This backpack finishes the list and costs about $78, and I'll briefly show you inside of it and how it works out, so you can get a good idea on how you can put your own gear into this pack. Alright, so here's a quick look at the backpack. So in the top, there's a lot of room where you can put like coats and things, other accessories, ND filters. I just like to keep the microphone up there nice and safe, zip that up. Then down here you can open up this compartment, and in here is where all the camera stuff lies. So you can see right here, you open it up. I have my Lumix G7 with the 14-42, sits right in here, nice and safe. You can open it up easily from the side if you want. Right here I have the 45-150 lens, and then right in the middle I keep the 25mm f1.7 lens to use very easily. As you can see, the compartments are configurable however you want. You can move things, add lenses. I do have my Lumix G7 charger right here with some extra batteries in there. You have an SD card slot right here, and this is all very easy. Alright, so totaling up the cost of this setup, we have the Lumix G7 for $498, the 25mm lens for $248, the Takstar SGC 598 for $30, the Magnus VT300 for $80, and the Lowepro Fastpack 250 for $78, coming in for a total of $934 for a complete cinematic setup, and that is under $1,000. So yeah, that was just a quick look at the gear that I personally use, but also gear that I think is very low budget and can also create very cinematic and professional looking results. Obviously this is just my opinion, and other people can have different opinions on what works the best, but from my experience, this equipment is very predictable, very reliable, and can really help you create really high quality films. I've pretty much consistently used all of this equipment for the past 3 years, so if you want to go check out my old videos, you can see how it works in those. There's also tons of sample movies shot on the Lumix G7 and all this different equipment that you can easily find on places like YouTube. I'm really happy with all this equipment, and I think that it's a complete steal for under $1,000. Of course, if you want to buy any of these products that I mentioned in the video, I will leave them linked in the description below. But that's it for today. If you like this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.